listening to The Issues of Life with radiotherapist and licensed marriage, family, and child counselor John Jolliffe. Stay with us for 60 minutes of insights into ways we can face up to the challenges of everyday living. Now, here's John.
Hello, everyone. This is John Jolliffe, and welcome to the next issue of Life. You missed it last night. If you weren't there, November 1st, we were talking about, on the first day of November, needs and wants on our Tuesday night at the Holiday Inn. And next Tuesday, we'll be talking about personal power, how to get it and how to keep it. So put that on your calendars, November 8th, next Tuesday night, Holiday Inn in Long Beach. Wonderful turnout last night, and wonderful things talked about and suggested, and a lot of learning goes on midweek as well. I said last night, unfulfilled needs supersede all other human activity until they're met. Needs are very, very important. We are controlled by our needs and manipulated by our wants. Manipulated by our wants, controlled by our needs. What I needed and did not get shaped my relationship to the world. How about you? Well, let me tell you about some other things coming up. Next week, November 7th. November 7th, next week, we begin at 2 o'clock. And that's right, a little more time for the issues of life. We begin right at 2 o'clock. So set your clocks and tell your friends we start at 2, beginning next Monday. I had a conversation with a fellow the other day. I thought I would share it with you because I think he was laboring on some misunderstanding, and you might be as well. I spoke to him, and he learned something by my challenge. I challenged him regarding the subject of confidence. Confidence. He was discussing his fear of doing something and his unwillingness to risk something else. And I asked him where the strength of his confidence came from. He didn't understand, and he said, "You mean my lack of confidence?" And I said, no one lacks confidence. And don't you understand, my friends, that if you don't pick up that telephone to make that call to whomever regarding whatever, and if you don't ask him or her out, and if you don't take risks to make changes that are necessary, it's not out of a lack of confidence. It's out of a very strong sense of confidence. Where does the strength come from for such confidence that you know you're going to fail? Because when you're confident, or shall we say, when you're sure that you're going to fail, or it's not going to work out well, or it'll only get worse, that's evidence of a lot of confidence. Think about it. You have so much confidence that you don't pick up the phone and make the call. You don't invest in it. You don't make the changes. You don't take the risks. Not out of a lack, but out of an abundance of confidence. People have confidence. There's only one kind to have, and that's either positive self-confidence or negative self-confidence, but everybody has confidence. And the question you always ask yourself is, where does the strength of my negative self-confidence and or positive self-confidence come from? You may be the dominant driving force in your family or relationship, but where is it driving you, and what is the driver? What is driving the driver? The confidence issue. Okay, well, let's talk today, shall we? Get on the phones and let's talk about your confidence. Maybe you have a very strong level of confidence about something or another. Pick up the toll-free lines. The lessons begin right now, 1-800-4-ISSUES. That's 1-800-447-7837. Let's find out what God would have us to do as you pick up the phones and call me. I've got a couple lines open. Let's take our first caller and talk to our young man named John. Hello, John.
Hello.
Welcome. How old are you, John?
I'm 15.
It's not my fault, John. How can I help you, John?
Well, okay, I have a situation with my family. My parents might separate.
Your parents might separate?
Yeah, they might separate. And the thing is my dad's not meeting me and my mom's and my sister's needs. And he's not really around a whole lot. He works a lot.
Mm-hmm.
And so my mom is like, she feels all alone, and I feel like, he's not meeting my needs because he's never really around. And I was wondering, how do I deal with my emotions towards him? And I was wondering, how do I get my needs met? Because it's like he's really hardly ever around.
Okay.
And it's like really hard to cope with.
What need in particular is hard to meet?
It's just being a dad.
Okay.
It's like everything a dad should be is like he's not being.
Okay, tell me specifically what it is you need.
I need to be loved, and I need to be loved for, and I need to be, I just need, like, if I were to go to encouragement or something like that, that's what.
Okay, continue.
Yeah, I need to be encouraged, and I need to be loved, and I need to be cared for, and just everything that a dad should be is what he's not really giving me.
John, do you deserve to be cared for?
Yes.
To be encouraged and to be loved?
Yes.
You deserve it.
Yes.
Good for you. You haven't defined yourself by your father's absence.
Yes.
All right? Now, do you think it's written anywhere that you have to have the love of your father in order to be complete?
No.
You're right. You're right again. It's not written anywhere that you have to have the love, the encouragement, or support of your father. But you know what you do need? You need the love and encouragement and support from a man, as well as a woman.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Do you know of anybody who would love to give you that kind of support?
Yeah, my friends, my church, missionary church.
Okay.
And
not just your friends, but maybe your friends' fathers?
Yeah, and my youth leader, Kenny Looper.
Your youth leader, all right.
Yeah.
Does it count that somebody else is willing to give you that when your father wasn't?
Yeah.
Is it meaningful?
Yeah.
Good. Because, you see, it's so easy for us to disqualify all the other kind of encouragement and support around us because it's not our father. Those people are mistaken because they think that it doesn't count because my father didn't give it to me. It has to come from him. That's arbitrary. It's not true. What we do need to be is available to people for the love that God would have to give us through the ministry of other people.
Yeah.
You see, God created a support system in which the influence of other people is paramount. It is absolutely essential that we have the support of other people. But when somebody rejects us, abandons us, neglects us, and the like, we tend to harden our hearts. We get hard in the places we're supposed to be soft, and we're no longer open to how God and other people would minister to us and love us and encourage us. So good for you that you haven't closed down, and good for you that you don't define your value and your worth by his absence. And if you understand more of his background in terms of the way he was raised by his mother and father, and some of the issues going on in his life, you'll learn not to take what he does or doesn't do personally. You won't take it personally the more you understand about his childhood.
Okay.
So do some searching there, ask questions of people who know about his background, and try to understand why it is your father acts the way he does.
Yeah, he's told me about that. He said that his father was like really, he'd get drunk a lot, and that he was like it's kind of the same situation that I'm in, that he was in.
Yep.
So.
And your father, unfortunately, didn't come to terms with, and didn't resolve some of the difficulties where his needs weren't met and other frustrations and challenges. He didn't step up and familiarize himself with those issues like you're doing. I would imagine he never called a radio program, never spoke to a therapist, never got the help he needed that was available.
Yeah.
You see what I mean?
Yeah.
Good for you, John. Hey, thanks for calling. Do you listen to the Issues of Life, or did somebody put you up to this?
No, someone put me up to this.
Well, hopefully you'll put yourself up to it next time yourself.
Yeah.
Give me a call back, John.
Okay, thank you.
Talk to you another day.
Okay.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Yep, 15-year-olds, they get the point, just like the rest of us. Don't define yourself by the absence or by the lacking of other people. My name is John Joff. We'll come back in just a moment. We've got a line open, toll-free, 1-800-447-7837. And we've got some other calls coming up here as well. A lot of program left. Why don't you call somebody and tell them to listen in? to the issues of life.
The U.S. Constitution guarantees us the right to life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. Of course, being free to pursue happiness doesn't guarantee that we'll ever get hold of it. The fact is, a lot of us are chasing things we think will make us happy, while true joy is slipping past us unnoticed. If you feel like you're missing out on the positive side of life, ask for a copy of John Jolliffe's 2-cassette album, The Pursuit of Happiness. John describes the characteristics of a truly happy person and outlines how you can make that description apply to you. The Pursuit of Happiness on 2 cassette tapes is available from the Issues of Life Foundation for $14.95. Just send your request to Box 611, Long Beach, California, 90801. Or if you prefer to use your Visa or MasterCard, call 1-800-4-ISSUES. Again, that's the Issues of Life, Box 611, Long Beach, California, 90801. Our phone number is 1-800-447-7837.
Yes, John Joliffe, and we are speaking to Tamara. Hello, Tamara.
Hi, John.
Welcome.
Hi, thank you. Yesterday I was listening to your program and I heard about 5 minutes of it, and there was something that I wanted you to clarify for me that I didn't hear the caller, but I heard your comment and I thought it was wonderful and that it may have applied to myself. You had said that if needs go unfulfilled, that we cut them off and relocate them, and sometimes they get satisfied in a symbolic form.
Yes.
I didn't understand what you meant by that, because again, I didn't hear the beginning part.
Let me make the statement because I have it written down here.
Oh, okay.
It's out of my notes from last night. I said unattended needs, okay? Unattended needs. Needs that have been frustrated by a lack of attention or fulfillment. Unattended needs that persist to the point of intolerability are separated from our awareness, and then have their sensations relocated to areas where greater control or adequate relief can be provided. Unfulfilled needs tend to become disguised and find attempted fulfillment through symbolic satisfaction. Homosexuality is probably the most obvious of those, in the sense that we're looking for father love, male affection. The unfortunate conclusion is that it has to necessarily be sexual. You see? So that would be where an unfulfilled need got relocated, where the hoped-for satisfaction or fulfillment would be relocated to an area where it could be experienced. But unfortunately, you cannot fulfill a need with a want.
Oh, yeah. Sure.
Okay? And no want being fulfilled will ever satisfy you the way a fulfilled need will. And that's why so much of our life that takes on a symbolic quality for people who are stand-ins for us. Like the homosexual lover is a stand-in for the father or the mother. And that's why they're unfulfilling, and that's why they tend to be temporary, and it's because they're symbolic.
I see. Or, like, for example, like an eating disorder. It's like the need for affection, the need to fill yourself with something instead of getting your need met by asking, this is what I need.
That's right. And there is kind of an unconscious collusion that says that I know that this is not about food. I know I'm hungry, but I'm hungry for something else, maybe relatedness, maybe belonging, maybe a sense of value and respect. I'm hungering for something, and I know it's not food, but I'm not going to consciously let myself in on this, because if I connect up to what it really is, I'm going to feel a whole lot of pain.
Right.
And what I want to do right now is I want to avoid pain. So therefore you have to avoid the truth. I saw this written somewhere, and I don't know where I saw it, but I think it's very profound. Oh, no, I do know where I saw it. I saw it on the back of a guy's T-shirt at a Halloween party. It said this one line. I mean, that was worth the whole party. It said, "Tell the truth. there's a lot less to remember.
Oh, wow.
Do you know what I mean? I thought that's worth the whole evening.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, Tamara.
That's neat, John. Thank you so much.
Yeah, call again.
I will. Thank
Bye-bye.
you. Bye-bye.
Yep, tell the truth. There's a lot less to remember. You don't have to keep telling lies and lies upon other lies to keep the lie alive. So let's talk to, is it Viester? That's got to be...
Got it right.
Viester.
Yes.
Viester, how are you?
I'm fine. How are you?
Oh, all right. Doing well, thanks.
You did.
I'm kind of choking on the Caesar salad I just had, if you're really wanting to know. Okay.
Okay. Well, that's what I'm calling about.
Caesar salad?
No. Weight.
Oh, wait.
Yeah.
Okay, I will.
I had the confidence. No,
Oh.
not that weight.
Oh,
I had the confidence in like 1991, and I shedded the weight. I was very disciplined, and now I'm big again.
how big are you?
45 pounds too big?
Oh, okay. So how to get my confidence back regarding weight loss?
Right.
Uh-huh.
I had it then, and I want it again,
Uh-huh.
and I've been trying to get it for a whole year.
What kind of confidence do you want?
That I could do it again,
Do what again?
lose the weight.
But you don't have trouble losing weight.
Well, okay, then I need the discipline so that
Let's keep it in the discussion of confidence. You need the confidence to do what? You can lose weight. You've got the confidence you can do that.
I don't have the confidence to motivate myself.
You mean to start again?
Yeah.
Well, maybe the reason you lack the motivation to start again is because you know that you'll get to a place and then you can't sustain it. So why start, stop, start all over again? See, that's probably what you're thinking.
Right.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, most people don't have trouble losing weight. They have trouble keeping the weight off. And that usually has to do with the fact that they have not connected up with the source of the problem. So the problems return, the stress becomes greater, and we go back to medicating ourselves, anesthetizing ourselves from the anxiety or the conflict or the pain. And so what we have to do to really sustain our weight loss, keep on a disciplined path, is we have to figure out, what's really eating at us.
Okay.
Not what we're eating, but what's eating at us. And when does it eat us, and do we eat back?
Well, I've tried all that, and I have
Tried all
no
what?
answer.
What have you tried all what?
I've said, and I've heard that it's what's eating you that creates the problem.
Okay.
And when I get frustrated, I say, okay, am I going to eat? No, I don't. Maybe it's my loneliness.
Are you lonely?
Yeah, I'm tired of being single.
Okay.
But I don't think I'm going to attract anyone this, fat.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So I want to lose the weight.
Mm-hmm.
And yet,
Do you have the belief that if you lost the weight, that anybody would be interested in you?
yeah. Well, I think they would now, but I prefer myself thinner.
Okay. Then what happened the last time you lost the weight?
I was married, and my husband made it seem as if though I couldn't. So it was a challenge.
A challenge. So you need a challenge.
Right.
Okay. And when you lost the weight the last time, you were married,
Right.
and now you're not?
Right.
Okay. How long you been divorced?
It's not final, but I've been separated 4 years.
4 years. And why aren't you divorced?
I'm still waiting on the lady. I didn't really push it until last year, and it's happening now. It's in the works.
Okay. So maybe you need kind of a little chalk talk and says that you need to get on with your life instead of dragging your feet, instead of postponing the inevitable. Let's get on with it.
Okay.
And set some goals for yourself and figure out how losing the weight is going to help you with that overall objective of getting on with your life. And before I got into another relationship, I'd certainly want to find out what happened to the last one. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I've been doing a lot of that. Lots of it.
Okay. So we don't want to lose the weight just to find a man or attract a man or get into a relationship. But we want to lose the weight because it fits into an overall objective you have for your life. And then your objective has purpose. And it's easier to commit and motivate when your objective has a purpose.
Purpose, okay.
You see what I mean? A lot of people go from high school to college, and they're going to graduate. They're not going to get an education because they haven't figured out that somehow the education is going to connect somewhere in a master plan. They don't have any plan. They live from day to day or semester to semester. We need a 3-year plan here. And then we'll find out whether we need to lose the weight to fulfill the plan. So make it connected to something.
Okay.
Okay?
Well,
And-
I have. It makes me happy.
Okay.
So why won't I please me?
Well, I think you probably can. You know, however you lost the weight before, go at it again. Maybe you need a challenge. Maybe you need somebody to work with you, hold you accountable. But there has to be a purpose for it.
Okay.
There has to be a purpose to losing weight, not just because of health.
Okay.
You see, I can every year for the last 17 years, the day before Super Bowl, my old high school and college cronies that we played football together, we get together and we have a football game. It starts out with flag football and ends up all kinds of other things. But I can get real motivated to get in shape prior to the game. But unless I have a game or unless I have something to get in shape for, just the knowledge in my head that it would be the healthy thing to do doesn't always get me there. I've got to have an objective. You had a challenge. Maybe you work best with challenges. And we all work better with accountability.
All right.
Okay?
Great.
I enjoyed talking to you, Vester.
All right.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Yep, we've done it before. We have the confidence we can do it again. But what we lack the confidence in is that we can sustain the effort. When the objective is met, if the objective is you can't do it, you can't lose 40 pounds, then as soon as you lose 40 pounds, your objective is complete and you give up. So my thinking is that it's not a good idea to try to lose weight as an objective. Because when you do it, it's done and you give up the sustaining effort. I think it's the objective ought to be eat less and less fat. Observe your diet. Don't count calories. Count weight. Count fat. Take less and less fat. Eat a non-fat diet. And commit to it. Okay? Commit it to the end of your life. Therefore, you've got another 40 or 50 years. Use that number. We'll be back in just a minute. We're going to talk to the rest of you on the next issue of Life. This is John Jolliff, we're speaking to Justin. Hello, Justin.
Yes, I have this one problem similar to that of a caller that called in yesterday about her husband being real sensitive to little things.
Okay.
And this is towards my girlfriend.
Okay.
And I tend to have this problem. It comes once in a while. Before it happened more frequently, and then I try to dissect the problem.
What is the problem, Justin?
Sometimes there's little problems that, if there's, for example, just one small little issue, I make a big deal out of it. And I really, at the moment, I try to figure out why I'm feeling that way. But it's like I'm being very irrational at the moment.
Uh-huh. Okay, so she does something. I mean, can you think of a most recent example?
Most recent, yes.
I'm going to ask you to do something too, Justin. Would you back away your mouth from the mouthpiece? I think
okay.
Less distortion, yeah. Give me a recent example, if you would, please.
Well, for example, like she would maybe think that Halloween wouldn't be proper, to celebrate or give out candy. And I'll, disagree, and it'll just stick in my head, and it'll upset me pretty much.
Well, when you disagree, then you say so, right? You make your point.
Yes.
And then what does she typically do?
Well, I understand. I wouldn't blame her. She gets kind of upset because I get kind of mad.
Would you get mad right off when you're stating your point, or do you get mad when she challenges your point after you've made it?
When she challenges it.
Okay. So she makes a point about the candy and thinks that she shouldn't celebrate Halloween. You say, I don't think it's such a problem. It's just about kids having fun. Then she says, no, because we're Christians or because of some other reason, we're not going to celebrate. I think it's wrong. And at that point is when you go off. Is that right?
Yes.
Okay. So it triggers something, doesn't it?
Yes.
And what do you hear from when you get challenged?
I just get offended, I guess.
Yeah, but what do you hear?
What do I hear?
What are you hearing? What's it triggering?
Anger.
Okay, that's anger, but that anger is in response to some kind of hurt.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hurt that's unexpressed leads to anger. But why are you hurt? She's merely challenging your idea or your opinion. So it must be triggering some older issue with you, isn't it?
Yes.
And what is that older issue with you, Justin?
It must be. I used to be kind of sensitive before as a kid.
Kind of?
Well, I was sensitive.
Yes, you were sensitive.
To very small issues.
Okay. Because those small issues triggered something in you. You may have a hair trigger. The question is not the problem is not your hair trigger. It's what is unresolved. What have you not identified that we need to discuss that makes you so sensitive or vulnerable?
I tried to identify the problem, but I can't seem to get anywhere.
Okay. Tell me about how old are you, Justin?
20.
20.
Yeah.
Tell me about your family growing up.
Well, it was a pretty large family, like family of 10.
Family of 10?
Yes.
Where were you in the birth order?
The last one.
So there were 9 other children before you.
Yes.
How old is your oldest sibling?
37.
So there's 17 years between your oldest sibling and yourself.
Yes.
And is this from the same mother and father?
Yes.
Uh-huh. And did your oldest sibling, was that a boy or girl?
That's a boy.
And his first name?
It's John.
Okay. Did John have the same parents that you did?
Yes.
The answer is no.
He
Explain to me. The answer is no. Explain that to me.
I guess because they were in a different situation.
Exactly. You knew. Exactly. You were absolutely right. They were in a whole different place in their life 17 years later when they had you. And where were they 17 years later when they had you? What kind of place were they in? Meaning an emotional place.
Well, I was brought up in a very difficult situation because there was a lot of conflict between my family. Because they have my father has a business, and there was a lot of conflict in sharing the business.
And coming out of that family, what would a need be of yours, Justin? What would a need be?
More attention, I guess.
Attention?
Or more understanding,
Understanding? You didn't feel understood there?
More of a relationship.
All right, but you didn't feel understood? I
didn't feel as if I had a word or a say in this.
Okay. And there was always somebody denying or lying or challenging you or dismissing you or whatever. Is that right?
Right.
So therefore, do you see what made you vulnerable to now you make a statement about Halloween and it triggers this whole thing of not being understood?
Yes.
Not being valued or respected?
Yes.
And did you know anybody growing up in your family, father, mother, or older brothers or sisters, who basically said to you, my word is law and it will not be questioned?
Yes.
Did anybody take that position?
Yes.
Who did?
My father.
All right. Do you hear your father in you, when you basically said, no, I think it's okay to do candy, and your girlfriend challenged that idea, and you got upset? Because you're being upset, basically sending a signal to her that says, wait a minute, I said that we would do this, and my word is law, and it shall not be challenged. And if you dare challenge my word, I will become emotional, I'll become irrational, and you will pay the price if you challenge my word.
Exactly.
See, that's the father in you. Now, the good news is it's not biological, so you're not stuck with it.
I could unlearn it.
That's right. Everything that causes troubled families is learned after birth. And since it's learned, it can be unlearned, but it has to be identified. So you need to extend to your girlfriend and anybody else in your life, you need to extend to them what you wanted to have extended to you. Did you understand that?
Yes.
Repeat that back.
I want my girlfriend to, I want to explain to her what I want extended to me.
No. Hear it again. You need to extend to other people what you wanted extended to you as a child.
I see.
Now, what is that? What did you want extended to you as a child?
I wanted a more of an explanation of why I was being treated that way.
Okay. You wanted somebody to explain, but you also wanted to be able to explain yourself too, didn't you?
Yes.
And you wanted somebody to listen to you. See, if they would have listened to you, it wasn't that you had to have your way all the time, right?
Right.
But you wanted to be understood and appreciated.
Exactly.
Okay? You need to extend that to other people. To your girlfriend, you need to understand her. You need to hear her out. You need to give to her what you wanted people to give to you. And the wonderful thing about relationships is that if you will give to them what they need, they're more likely to cooperate in giving us what we need.
Exactly. Yeah.
So you got to find out what they need, and you got to tell them what you need. Do you see what I mean?
Yes.
And relationships will work a whole lot better that way.
Okay.
Okay, my friend.
Thank you.
Hey, I'm glad you called.
Well, I listen to your show all the time, so.
Did your father ever listen to a therapist show when he was
No.
growing up? And,
No,
and
but I guess he's kind of
okay.
old.
And did he ever call a therapist show to get some help with his life?
Not really, no.
Therefore, you see how much farther ahead you are than he.
Yes.
Okay, my friend.
Thank you.
Enjoyed talking to you.
Okay.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Yep. Try to find out what people need. They'll love you for it. Try to fulfill those needs as best you can, and tell other people what it is that you need. And you can't understand what you need if you don't explore your past. Okay? All right, let's see. We have Debbie. Where's Debbie? Debbie,
Hi, John.
there you are.
Hi.
How are you?
Oh, I'm nervous.
Are you?
Yeah. My heart's beating really fast.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Is that because you're on radio, or is it because we're talking about this issue?
Probably both.
Usually I've found it's because we're talking about an issue. Okay, this is close to you. This is important. What is it about?
Well, I'm really having a hard time emotionally getting through school.
Okay.
I'm going to court reporting school,
That's tough.
and it's different than other schools because in other schools you take a course, and at the end of the course you finish it. Or you take a class, at the end of the class you finish it. And this has all to do with physical skill and accuracy, and there's no time that you can say, I'm going to finish this. So anyway...
So when do you finish?
when I pass 2 more tests, I'll be done.
Mm-hmm. How many tests have you taken?
Oh, maybe 20.
And have you passed those 20?
Yes, I've passed all of the speed tests. As a matter of fact, I've graduated.
You've graduated.
I've graduated. I'm a 4.0 student, and I have 2 more tests to pass, but they're really hard. They're really hard.
You passed all the easy ones?
No, they've all been hard, John.
Oh, they all have been.
Every one of them, except the academics, except
Okay.
law or whatever.
I just didn't want you to minimize where you've come from.
No, every one of them has been difficult for me.
And you've done well.
Yes, I've passed them.
Okay, so
But
what do we...
it's taken me twice the amount of time as I expected.
Mm-hmm.
When I came to the school, they told me it was a 2-year program, and I found out once I started that they lied. That,
okay. But
that
how
very
long...
few people have done it in that amount of time.
Well, somebody did it, but not
couple
every...
people.
Okay. So what difference does it make?
Well...
Whether it's 2 years or 4 years?
Well, see, I don't know it's going to be 4 years.
Okay. So what are we really talking about here?
Well, I feel like I can't even begin my life until I can financially take care of myself and my son.
Okay. That's important.
Yeah.
And what I hear, this emotion, is it a fear that you're not going to succeed?
Yeah, I'm scared that maybe I won't do it. This is it. This is my life, going into debt forever.
Okay. So where does the confidence come from that you're not going to succeed?
That I failed so many times. I feel like
Failed where? Help me understand what you're saying. You're a 4.0 student. You've passed these 20 tests. Where have you failed?
Well, my last career, I feel like I was a failure.
Well, how long ago was that?
Well, I left my last career to go into this career.
Okay.
Because I couldn't financially support myself in my last career.
Okay, and so therefore you left that career because you couldn't financially support yourself.
Right.
Is that a failure?
It feels like it.
Or is that an admission that you were failing? Do you see the difference?
No. They both look like a failure. You either...
If I'm in the ocean treading water, and a lifeboat comes by, and I'm 500 miles from shore, and I get in the lifeboat, is that an admission of failure, or is that a failure?
That's an admission of failure.
That's right. I can't continue treading water for very long. So I'm admitting that I will ultimately fail if I stay with this course.
Who you are is partly the result of who you were. That's right. What we experience as a child or adolescent can leave marks on our personalities that will last well into our adult lives. Now, whether those experiences turn out to be assets or liabilities is up to us. That's the subject of John Jolliffe's 2-cassette album, The Power of the Family of Origin. In this Power Pack seminar on tape, John will help you understand your personal history, gain a fresh perspective on your past, and chart a course for a more fruitful future. Ask for The Power of the Family of Origin when you contact the Issues of Life, Box 611, Long Beach, California, 90801. Be sure to include $14.95 for each copy you request. Or if you prefer to use your Visa or MasterCard, call 1-800-4ISSUES. Again, that's the Issues of Life, Box 611, Long Beach, California, 90801. And our phone number is 1-800-447-7837.
I was talking to Debbie off the air, and was telling Debbie that, Debbie, look, what you're doing is you're gaining a tremendous amount of confidence in a negative way, gathering information to prove that you're not worthy, that you'll never succeed. There is a fear that motivates us to succeed. And one of the unfortunate things with overindulging parents is they don't allow their children to fail enough or fear failing, and in not fearing, they're not motivated to succeed. There's got to be enough fear in our lives that motivate us to push on and to work hard. There's other kinds of fear that is debilitating. that creates so much anxiety and becomes a roadblock. And what Debbie is doing is she's collecting information that says that she's not good, that she'll never succeed, and that she'll never be able to accomplish her ultimate goal, and that is to take care of her child and herself independent of anybody else's support. She may be all that her child and herself has to rely upon. And the fear of not being able to do that becomes either motivating or becomes debilitating, depending on how much of that fear you try to support with evidence. She says, I failed in so many of my tests before I finally prevailed. Well, that's what tests are supposed to do. Tests are not things that are designed to prove our unworthiness, that we're not competent. Tests are only to show you that you haven't disciplined yourself, or you need to discipline yourself further. You need to study more. You need to get your skills up to speed. That there's take this seriously. You don't have this understood yet. That's all a test is to tell you. It doesn't tell you whether you're intelligent. A test doesn't tell you whether you're going to succeed in life. All a test tells you is that you haven't put out enough work. You haven't studied. You haven't worked out hard enough mentally or emotionally. That's all it tells you. And if you'll do it right the next time, you'll do far better. I read my daughter's report. I remember one year I read my daughter's report. She wanted to be a writer, and she wrote this wonderful report. It was just wonderful. I said, is this the rough draft? She says, yes. I said, well, then make sure you spell check it. Well, guess what? She got a C-. Wonderful report. I said, how could you possibly get a C-? And this is a wonderful report. She says, I didn't know how to spell check it. I said, that's not the biggest error. The biggest problem is you didn't talk to me, who does know how to spell check it. I could have taught you that in 3 minutes. So it just says there was something that you were lacking, something you missed out in. That's all tests tell you. My daughter now learns how to spell check, no problem. That's all this is about. Don't gather evidence to prove the worst about yourself. Gather the evidence to prove your goodness, because there's plenty of evidence in this world to prove whatever you want. Okay, let's see, who are we talking to here? There's Ann. Where's Ann? Hello, Ann.
Hello.
Hello, Ann.
Hi.
Welcome to the Issues.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Just one quick question. I know the time is short, but how do you reach or help an 18-year-old who's not experienced the joy of being in a family? He had a family, but the parents weren't there for him, and he's 18 and very hurt.
Mm-hmm.
And how do I help someone get out of that?
Is this a relative?
It's a nephew.
Okay, 18-year-olds. And how close does he live to you, and geographically?
In another state.
Another state?
In the South, yes.
Okay.
Texas.
All right. Can he come visit you at different times?
I'm getting ready to go this weekend.
Is it possible for him to come to you?
Yes.
I mean, the ticket costs the same, doesn't it?
Oh, yes. Yes.
Planes fly both ways.
Yes.
I think.
I would have to send for him.
Yes, I think it might be nice for him to have the chance to fly, to come stay with your place for a weekend or a long week, and see how the other half lives. Expose him to opportunities, and explain to him that we all have the responsibility of making changes with our life. Give him an objective and a goal to shoot for.
Very good.
You know what I mean?
I know exactly what you mean.
I dated a lot when I was in high school and college. And from the dating, I got to see how families and how fathers and how men and how women are.
Right.
It was a wonderful opportunity for me to kind of hang out. And part of what I am today is a combination from what my parents taught me and what I learned in taking communion of other families.
Right.
And
I learned the same thing.
There you go. And just give him the opportunity. He'll get so much more out of your visit if he gets to get on the plane to come to you than if you go to him.
Right. Thank you so much.
All right, Ann.
Appreciate it.
Thank you very much.
Bye.
And thanks so much for all of you who allow this program to continue. Please help me continue this program. I can't do it myself, can't do it all alone. I need your support. So please make a tax-deductible contribution to this program. It helps so many other people. You can see there's going to be a boy in Texas that might be impacted for good because of the financial support that you made today. So you want to make an impact in your community, or maybe the country or the world? Make an investment in ministries that support you. Write a tax-deductible contribution. Do it today before you get busy and distracted and get on to other things. Make a tax-deductible contribution to the Issues of Life. Post Office Box 611, Long Beach, California, 90801. And somebody said, well, can't you just finance it yourself? I swear to you, somebody came up to me and says, my friend was saying that I was a fool for supporting your ministry when you probably could support your own ministry all by yourself. I said, well, that's not really true, but you need to understand that I'm making a contribution of some $4,000 a month. And I'm doing this program for free. I don't ask for any salary or donations. My staff does it for free. And we have to pay air expenses, telephone bills. We have to do a lot of mailings, stamps, and everything else that goes into supporting a ministry. So we're making our contribution. We just ask that you help us. We're not asking anybody to do as big a contribution as we are, but we're asking that you make a contribution to our efforts on other people's behalf. Okay, let's talk to, where are we? Let's talk to Kathy. Hello, Kathy.
Hello.
Welcome to the Issues.
Oh, thank you, John. I just have a question on a feeling that I've had for quite a while in regards to my mom. She passed away about 5 years ago.
Okay.
And I've gone through all the anger and the sadness and the bitterness, but I just can't get rid of the emptiness.
Emptiness?
Emptiness.
You mean the loss?
Well, I just feel empty.
Well, loss?
Her
Okay.
loss.
But did she not leave you with something? See, I would understand loss when you didn't have the relationship you wanted to, and you just feel a whole loss. But if somebody was effective in your life and contributed to your life, it is not a loss, and it's not a feeling of, it's not an emptiness. It's, in a sense, there's a missing, but there's not like a hole. There's a missing. I miss who she was. So I need to know, was it a poor relationship, one that you wished had been better, or was it a good relationship?
It was an excellent relationship.
Okay. Then don't think that when an excellent relationship, it's over because of death, that there's a hole. If anything, you're fuller for her having lived. Now, as you celebrate the contribution that she's made to your life, you're a different person, you're a better person for it. So reframe this as not being an emptiness, but a fullness. And I miss her.
Mm-hmm.
I miss her, but she's not left a hole.
Okay.
And then see if you can't do some things. In fact, I want to talk to you a little longer off the air. Would you stay with me?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, stay with me. I want to talk to you off the air. And for the rest of you, we're going to be back here at 2:05 tomorrow. Tell your friends. Everybody be listening. 2:05. My name is John Jolliffe.
The Issues of Life is a presentation of the Issues of Life Foundation, Box 611, Long Beach, California, 90801.